emergencies, but not all of them.
Yeah.
Um,
Don't
so,
forget to start your recorder, Dad.
oh yeah, thank you.
Yep.
Okay, so again from Esther, she wanted to find out. Apparently, you were in a one-room schoolhouse,
Yeah, for a year.
and so she wanted to ask about that.
The big thing I remember, it was almost a mile to walk to get there. Uh, the teacher used to come by our corner, but she didn't come by my house. She came by the corner, which was halfway to school. And so sometimes if the weather was bad and we got down there early enough, she'd give us a ride in the rumble seat of her car to the school. But that school was still there after it closed, and the well was used. I remember when I rented a house on Minetto Cunningham, or it was Granby Minetto Road, and the well went dry, and we went down to the school and pumped water into milk cans and then brought it and dumped it in the well, so we'd have well in the house, well water in the house. And the other thing about that was that particular facility that we rented was the sewer just come out of the ground that was plugged up, and nobody ever bothered to fix it while we were there.
Hmm.
Anyhow, does that somehow talk about what she wants to know?
If she wants anything further, she can ask you.
Yeah.
Okay, so what were your grade school teachers and the subjects that they taught, and your favorite teachers?
I don't remember a lot of my teachers. I remember Mrs. Norton because she was a little bit more stricter, and she was a little bit amazed by the fact that I had learned in the country school things that were in her grade that I shouldn't know because I had never been taught them. But I remembered them because I heard it when the other teacher was teaching it. I don't even remember the teacher's name at the country school.
Okay, let's see. Okay. All right, here's one we have not yet addressed. Tell us about your wedding day.
My wedding day. Let me think. How did I get married?
I think I know who you got married to.
Yeah, I'm trying to think what the wedding day was all about. I don't remember very much activity on that day. I think we actually went to the JP together. And Kelly and Janice, her sister Janice, and my friend Kelly. Kelly, what was Kelly's last name? Anyhow, he was my best man. I got it in my marriage certificate. We went in the same car and drove down to Castle Rock, and met with the justice of the peace that married us down there. Then we drove back to Denver, and they went their way, and we went to our apartment.
Okay, well, speaking of apartments, and it's not on here, but where was your first apartment?
Rice. It was downtown, just off from Colfax on Rice, because she worked at the phone company, and it was close for her to go to the phone company from there.
It's not too far for you to go from Lowry to there either.
Right. Well, I was driving. She wasn't.
Right.
She wasn't. Didn't have a driver's license when we got married.
Okay.
Her mother tried to teach her how. This high school tried to teach her how to drive. She couldn't get it past the test, but I got her past. Well, I didn't get her past the test. I took her driving, and obviously that's not the way to teach a woman to drive. and she ended up with a rental car place. What do they call them? Where they teach kids how to in high school. Like she
Okay.
went
Driving
one
school.
lesson with them, and then they let her use their car to take the test because I had a standard shift car. And she wasn't quite ready for that. Anyhow, she passed the test with them, and then she learned how to drive the standard later on. In fact, she got where she liked a standard shift. I used to say I like to be in control. That's why I like a standard shift car. You're in control.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, once you learn how to use it, yeah.
Yeah. But we didn't have a big halloo. We didn't go to a party afterwards. We went home.
Okay.
Did you have your parents' blessing when you guys got married?
Whose parents?
Both.
Her parents approved. Her parents loved me. They were always kind to me. Her mother and her father, I don't know where her brothers stood, but her sister really seemed to like me. We didn't have any problem with them. My parents would have rather that we put it off a while or get to know each other better or whatever. I don't remember them ever saying it can't last because you didn't know each other long enough, but that was the attitude. You really don't know her that well because you just met her so certain time, not that long.
Right. So how
But
long
they
was
never stood in the way.
that? So was that a few months then, or how long was that you were dating before you actually got married?
Oh, 3,
3 months?
yeah.
Okay. That sounds similar.
Said we're spending so much time. Why don't we just get married? Oh, okay.
The charmer, huh?
Yeah. Logical.
Yeah. Okay, so another question from Ann Esther is she's asking,
Wait a minute. I remember another thing about that last one.
okay,
I said, we might just as well get married. We're spending so much time together. I said, I need to sleep. Let's get married. Sorry. Go ahead with the other one. I didn't need to back up, but
all right. When you became a father, what were your feelings?
well, as any father, especially when you have a first child as a daughter, you dote over them. You really think you see your blessings, and I at least really enjoyed being around her and spending time with taking care of her. I didn't even mind changing diapers and stuff. I was so infatuated with being a dad.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think I was ever negative about it. And surely it moved us around because we had other things we had to do that we hadn't had to do as a couple. I don't know what else I can tell her.
Okay.
Esther will have to settle for that.
I'm sure that if that's not good enough, she'll ask
She'll,
more questions.
yeah.
So what are some memories of your kids growing up?
Oh man. Most all of the memories are after their teens.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of I remember being with them and stuff, but when they were small, it's just an armful, and you don't connect the same way you do with a teen.
Mm-hmm.
And most of the time, my girls, well, I always told people, if you have a choice, have girls because boys are harder. Or no, have boys because boys are easier to raise. Girls are harder to raise because they've got things you got to watch for that you didn't even think about before you had them. But I don't know that we had any problems beyond what normal people would have. I don't know. I can't say we never grounded any of our kids as far as discipline, but most of them were,
Oh, yeah, you did.
well, yeah, we had to do that sometimes, but we didn't do a lot of it, I don't think. Comes a point when the child has to realize that they're not the parent, they're the child. And I'm sure that I didn't cross that threshold very carefully. There were a lot of things that I wish I would have done or could have done or thought more about before I said it. But that's all in growing up, I guess.
Okay. Well, I'll just ask you about your Christian beliefs. Where you were grounded from a child, and then as you grew up, how that some of your beliefs may have changed over time.
Changed. Esther asked that?
Yeah.
Esther asked that?
Yes. Not exactly the way I just did, but pretty close. She said, I mean, what Esther was asking is, she says she knows that religion is very important to you and always a huge part of your life. And she did feel like it'd be remiss if we didn't just speak of that. And so I just kind of added a few extra words. So,
well, I think my explanation or my speech on that is basically I do feel that religion is important. I do feel that my life is in order. I feel like at my age, if it ain't in order, you better get around to it, because you haven't got forever to make those decisions. But it's more than just making decisions. It's speaking to the Lord about what you expect and what you know that you should be doing, and why that hasn't happened, and or if it hasn't, whatever. So I spend a lot of time in the Word and with the Bible in my hand. And one of my friends suggested to me that why did I do things a certain way? And I said, I find that if I feel that I have to live my life according to the way God wants me to, not just talk it, because talk is cheap, but living it is the important part for me. Mm-hmm. And that's why I did for so many years volunteer work with now, did I have racial problems? No, I never did. I don't think I have partiality with African American. I have to admit, LBJQTQ, whatever all those letters are, doesn't compute. I don't understand it, but I'm willing to let them live their life the way they feel they should. I can't tell them what to do.
Right.
And I never would go, well, I'm not a violent person anyhow. I never would go around shooting people because they think different than I do. That is so absurd. Right. I don't understand how people do that. No. But that's me, because I don't understand some of those things. Religion is important, yes. Do I know where I'm going? Yes. Do I know when? No. I've been told the phone could ring and I should answer it sometime.
Yeah. Okay. Well, the last question Esther had asked is, she asked about your retirement. And I would say that's kind of wide open. What I would say is leading up to retirement, what were you thinking? Um, I mean, with retirement, what did that entail? And then, after you retired, what did you decide to was important to you?
Well, when I was working for a living, uh, Hewlett Packard gave us a option of starting a retirement fund, and they put money in the retirement fund, some money, uh, matching finances. I always felt like that was important to me. When my father-in-law passed away, we received some of his inheritance from him, and I bought a new car. And I never should have, probably. But when her mother died, we took the money from the inheritance and paid off the loan on our property, on our house, which allowed me now to increase the amount of money I put into my retirement fund because I had that money that I didn't have to pay anymore.
Right.
So retirement to me was a window to start doing things for other people. And I told Judy when I retired that all this time I've worked to make things right for us. Now I'm retired. I want to do things for other people. And that fit right in with my believing that people are important and friends are important. I've probably got 1,500 friends out there. I mean, between my lunch group, my McDonald's where we go and have coffee, where I was going and having coffee when I was still driving. There was a group there that got together. There's just retirement people and every bunch of, saints and Meals on Wheels, all of those people, they all treat me with respect, and I enjoy being around them. I don't know what else I can say about that, except retirement is important to me, and I'm trying to make the most of it.
Okay. All right. Well,
So much for Esther.
well, she had a lot of them, didn't she?
Oh,
So did Joe.
yeah.
We've got, again, we got some redundancy, but we'll try to see what we can do. I already know, and I think you've already touched on it, but just for the record, after military, when you had been living in New York, in North Syracuse, why did you move to Colorado?
Yeah, we already answered that one.
We did, but answer it again.
I moved to Colorado twice or three times because I thought if I could find a career here, Judy would be happy and I would be. I like Colorado. I never really disliked anything in Colorado. So it was a calling or a pulling of natural.
What do you remember about the move?
I remember that when we got here, somebody thought I should have taken the job in Rochester, and they called me when they found me because I lived in Longmont instead of in Loveland, and I worked in Loveland. So they were trying to find me in Loveland. They couldn't find me. They finally found me in Longmont, and they asked me if I would come back. Did it need to be turned over?
Yep.
I'll write the right number on it this time.
Number 2. Okay. sausage fingers have a hard time with that.
Get it?
There we go. Yep. I got it. Right. I got it.
I
Okay.
forgot what I'm answering.
When you, do you need to flip it over in the other direction? When you,
Are these
you got
two-sided?
somebody, yeah, I think so. Yeah,
Oops.
that's all right.
Been a while.
So, someone was looking for you and they found you in Longmont.
Oh, they wanted to know what I consider coming back. They said, we didn't realize what a good job you did when you worked here, because I took that temporary job with them until you left and we started looking at the computer and looking at, man, this guy really was busy and doing great things for us. So they want to know would I come back? And I said, well, I'm working for Hewlett Packard and here's the things I have. And I told them about paid time off and sick leave and bonus and all that stuff. And I said, you write me a letter and tell me what you'll offer me, and then I'll decide whether I'll come back or not. I never got a letter from them after I talked to them and told them all I had here. So it was decided by them, just like it was with me. I ain't going back there. But it was egotistically, it was a boost to have somebody want you.
Yeah.
Want you bad enough to search for you.
Okay.
How many questions do you have from Betty?
I don't know if I have anything.
Probably not. She doesn't seem to want to do things.
Okay. So
Holly.
Asking you.
Holly, I know her.
Yeah, I think I know this one too, but we'll just ask. But what's your favorite job?
Favorite job?
It doesn't have to be your best paying or your longest lasting, just your favorite job.
Favorite job? Boy, that's really hard. I guess I don't know. Teaching. Teaching is my favorite job. I taught all the time in the Air Force. I actually taught bomb navigation systems. I taught at Ames College a few times because of financial needs. I've taught forever. I hope I taught some of my kids some things. But anyhow, teaching is my favorite career.
Okay.
I'm also wondering about your siblings. What was your favorite thing to do to pick on them?
Start again.
What was your favorite thing to do to pick on your siblings?
Me?
Yeah.
I don't know that I ever did that.
I'll bet they would say differently, but
Yeah, I think you'd have to ask them what I favorite. I don't think I picked. I mean, the pick, always picking on somebody. I don't think I may have suggested some changes sometimes, but I don't think I picked. I don't know.
Yeah.
You'd have to ask them probably.
I might get some stories from some other sources.
Yeah, right.
okay. Well, we'll see if this one. Tell us about a time you got in trouble when you were a kid.
Time I got into trouble. How serious a trouble do you want to know about?
Anything you want.
Wide open, Pops.
I remember when my mother used to can strawberries. I don't never know why she didn't freeze strawberries. I guess we didn't have a freezer. But canned strawberries weren't the same. But she canned them in quart jars. And one day I whined to my mother about, how come we got all those strawberries and I never get to eat any of them? And she says, you can eat all of them you want. So I took I went and got a quart of strawberries, brought them up, and can I have these? Yeah. So I took the top off. I ate every stinking strawberry, and guess what? I got sick. And it was a long time before I was able to face a strawberry again. But that was a lesson well learned.
Mhm. Okay. I'm not sure. Well, maybe. You had talked about with your mom, the meals are very plain. You know, spaghetti was kind of like a treat, spaghetti and
Yeah.
meatballs, but not necessarily from your mom. But as a kid, what do you remember as being your favorite meal? I mean, was it spaghetti, or did you have something that
Probably it would be pancakes and maple syrup, or pancakes and eggs, or mostly breakfast was my favorite
Okay.
meal.
Okay. And again, you might have addressed this already, but we'll ask it. Who do you remember from your childhood as being your best friend?
Just Eddie Powers. He's the only one that
Okay.
I can say was my bosom buddy.
Okay. Blood brothers?
Yeah?
Did you do the ritual?
No.
Not that much blood brothers. Okay.
No.
I was a little bit queasy about trying to do that myself. There were people that wanted me to. But okay. Now we got some questions from Stacy. And this one I know we haven't asked yet, but we'll, as far as music goes, do you remember as a kid what your favorite artists were? Or it doesn't have to be as a kid, but your favorite artists.
Well, I can't remember any of the rock and roll stars that really impressed me. I guess, what was her name? Not Claudine, but, oh man, there's a woman singer. I can't think of her name. She sang some beautiful lullabies. I loved sound or the music of lullabies and stuff like that. I never was into rock or roll or rock and roll or any of the firecracker stuff. Just didn't suit me for some reason. I never got into it. I liked the nice sound of harmony. Barbershop harmony is all right, or something like that. Multiple parts.
Well, to feed off of the music part, when did you get your first record player? Or did your parents get your first record player or something?
My parents didn't have a TV until I left for the military. I think the money they saved by not having to feed me, they bought the TV for the rest of the kids. I don't, I can't, ask the question again.
When did you get your first record player?
I don't ever remember having a record player.
As a kid, I know you had one as an adult because
We had one
had
in
them
the
our
house.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know if there was that our first record player. So we had that big thing with the speakers all, was it Victrola?
Victrola.
You had one of
Put the
those?
needle down on the
Yeah.
record and stuff. But I don't think I owned any of that. I think it was all family stuff.
Okay.
Until I'm sure I had it after I got married. I don't remember what it was or who it was. Sorry.
That's all right.
So Holly's got another one she wants to throw out while you're
Does
listening.
he? Does, in school, what do you feel like were your favorite subjects?
Math.
Math.
Asked me what was my unfavorite.
Yes.
English.
Not a big reader.
Not a big reader. My
Um,
brother is reads. I do everything I can not to read. And now my eyes are bothering me enough that I just can't read.
Yeah.
If I look at a page and if I can see it, I'll start reading and all of a sudden one eye is seeing it and the other eye isn't.
Yeah.
And they don't stay this way. And so I just stay away from it.
Mhm.
I have Bible on that I can listen to. I have Janet buys me books on the computer on my Kindle and stuff like that. And if I have to read it, if I can listen to it, that's one thing. If I have to read it, it's still, unless I get the font pretty big, I can't stay on it.
So when you're listening to your audiobooks, what are your favorite things to listen to?
Adventure. Family. Different things about family that are of interest to me. I don't know. I had this book about World War II and airplanes flying from England over to Germany and dropping their bombs and coming back, and the fighter planes would escort them until they got to France, and then they had to turn around and come back because they didn't have enough gas to go all the way in on the run. And people got shot down, and they tell about all this plane was shot down and these were the people that were on it and all that. That doesn't really turn my switch on. I doesn't enjoy that one. So, I mean, it talks about who got blown out the side of the plane because of an explosion in the plane, who got hit by shrapnel, that was not my gig. But Janet reads consistently all the time. I just can't do it.
Yeah.
Don't like it, can't do it.
Well, you mentioned earlier, Dad, about your Uncle Raymond, and you mentioned a little bit about your grandparents. And what do you remember about your grandparents?
I remember that my grandmother's father lived on the farm, and she kept house for him after her mother died. And then when she got married and moved, well, because I was born, they moved away. My father had lived with them for a while after they were married with her father. But Frank Scott, my grandfather, married Nellie Upshaw, who was from down the street, was a widow, and he married her to have a housekeeper. I don't know if they were in love. I never followed up on it. I just know that they were married. In those days, you didn't move a woman into your house if most of us didn't anyhow.
Right.
But that's my grandmother Aylesworth. I never knew why her name was Aylesworth. I never found out. I assumed that she was married to my grandfather Charles at one time, and the fact that Bob and Raymond were put in an orphanage when they broke up was very devastating to my father. I don't know how Robert took it, but Robert was younger than Raymond. Anyhow, when my father was a teenager, a guy named Dwayne Wise came along and wanted him to work on the farm for him, and he promised him if he would come and work on his farm for him, he would make sure that he got through high school. And he did. And my father was so thankful to him that he named me Dwayne. And he took Dwayne as his middle name. So that was the ancestral thing that happened there. I never knew my grandfather Charles. Charles Frederick was his name, and he was a bookbinder, from what I understand. And I think his second wife, whoever Bertha her name was, I think she had children when they got married, because that's why he didn't want to take care of his own kids, because he had these other kids to take care of. I don't know all of that's true. Some of that's my deduction from what I do know. But if my dad was alive, he probably would tell me differently, but well, he ain't, so I'm making it up the way I want it to go.
Well, that's Stacy's questions. Now for Daniel. Daniel's got a lot of questions.
Really?
Yes. And we'll see how.
And he doesn't even talk.
Well,
Doesn't
he writes stuff down.
Oh, okay.
Actually, I wrote it all down for him, but anyhow, Daniel was asking, what memories do you have of the Depression or the war?
Depression or the war. I remember that my father was not eligible to be a soldier in World War II. My Uncle Bob was in the military. I don't know what rank he held, but I don't remember, like, sugar was rationed and coffee was rationed, and I don't remember all the things that were rationed. I remember that there were foods that you could only buy with your stamps. It was never, well, we did have, what do they call it, blackouts or whatever, where everybody was supposed to shut their lights off, and because supposedly somebody might be flying over that was going to drop bombs where there were people, and they didn't want them to know where there were people. Air raids, they called them. But I don't remember a lot about them. I just remember that they did exist, and just like the food stamp, well, we call them food stamps now. Now, in those days, they were called rations. Anyhow, I don't remember all of what even was on the rations. I remember sugar and coffee. I don't remember what else might have been on that. I don't remember that because I wasn't a cook. And we didn't go without cereal. But milk, you had to buy milk locally usually. Did I talk about something else? What was the other thing? There was two things he asked about.
Well, Depression and the war, and I think you're talking about it both. So
yeah,
I'm going to ask this just because
it's on the list.
It's on the list. I think we already know, but I'm just going to ask you.
Document.
How did you deal, or did you ever deal with segregation?
Never had any dealings with segregation that I can remember.
Right.
I mean, as a child anyhow, or as a young man.
Or as a young man, or even as a young adult.
Well, in the Air Force, saw some segregation.
You did, okay.
Well, Kelly, my best friend, was absolutely anti-Negro.
Hmm.
And I remember my wife, Judy, would say to him, if you were out there drowning and the Negro came to get you, you'd be dang lucky to have him save your life. And he said, I would punch him out and drown.
Wow.
That's how segregated,
Yeah.
but his brother had told him that black people were terrible, and he believed it because it was his brother.
Right.
So but I never had it in my family, never.
Right.
I never was told that I shouldn't go with that person because they're black or Mexican or whatever else.
I think we had a lot when I remember in New York, as far as ethnic groups, there was Polish and Italians.
Yeah.
I mean, and they tended to, well, especially the Italians tended to kind of team up together. So, I mean, I don't even think I saw my first black person until, gosh, I was a teenager probably. I mean, I'm sure you being at work and being in the military, you did, but I don't recall.
There was one black lady that came and registered in our school when I was in high school.
Mm-hmm.
I never was in a class with her. I never spent any time with her, not because I wasn't. It just wasn't the way the classes were set up.
Right.
But I only remember one black girl, I guess we could say, in the high school.
Okay.
But like I say, in Air Force, in fact, it amazed me that the black people from the South would be prejudiced to the other Southerners rather than the Yankees that treated them like people. I never could understand that.
Mm-hmm.
Never.
Well, Daniel was also asking, childhood pets. Did you have any childhood pets?
I had a dog named Jimmy. Don't tell Jimmy that though. My son-in-law.
What kind of dog?
Just a hound. When we got married, we had collie. No, not collie. We had a dog that was adult dog. Trying to think of what the breed was, but we had a dog, and most of the time, Judy was really into dogs.
Yeah.
And she had Tippy. He slept with her. I mean, I got the stairs downstairs.
I remember Frisky.
And Frisky, yeah.
That was some of my younger years. So
yeah, Frisky and Tippy, and the funny part of it is we had a dog that was named Trudy, I think. And then when we got Judy changed her name to Frisky. And then we got a dog that was named something else, and she changed it to Trudy. And I'm going, how come you let this one be Trudy and the other one couldn't be Trudy because it was too close to Judy? And she says, he's just a Trudy. Okay.
one of the things that I never wrote down from Aunt Esther, and perhaps you can just talk about this. She had said that when you're growing up, that you had mentioned that you didn't have a TV until after you moved out of the house, right. But she had said that you didn't have you had an outhouse up until a certain age, and that
I moved out of the house.
You didn't have a bathtub, so your baths would be literally going out into a pond and cleaning up out there. So tell us a little bit about that.
My mother would take water out of the reservoir. The cook stoves used to have a water reservoir at the end. and you kept the kitchen cook stove burning all year long. And that, you get warm water out of that and you put it in a basin and then you wash up with it.
Okay.
We didn't go out in the, no.
Well, she said that, she said that you do, sponge bath.
Yeah, sponge bath.
But did actually just you didn't have a bathtub.
No, not for years. The toilet was originally put in under the stairs, and then they put a sink in under the stairs, and then eventually, I guess, well after I'd gone, they got a bathtub in there. I don't know how they got it in there. I don't remember how they must have moved some things around.
Walls down.
But we used to wash up in a basin. We'd get a basin of water and wash ourselves up.
Right. And she did say that, but she just said you didn't have your first bathtub, and maybe for her that was her way of being able to get fully engulfed, is go out into some pond. But she had mentioned going out to.
I don't remember outdoor bathing, but maybe we did.
Okay. Okay. How was school different? You had mentioned being in a one-room schoolhouse. How did that differ from when you went to like the actual school in town?
Basically, the answer is you did your studies while the teacher was teaching the other grades, and you heard what she was saying because you were in the same vicinity with her. And that's, like I say, my memory of things I hear is much better than what I read. And so when I got into higher grades, I already knew some of the stuff.
Okay.
And the teachers were a little bit amazed with it. But I said, well, I've already had that. I've already been exposed to it. That's really what it was. Monetto Union School only went to 9th grade, I think. But I only went to 8th grade there, and then I went to Fulton High School after that, 9th and up to 12th.
Okay. What made you decide to join the Air Force?
My number on the draft was coming closer, and I said, I don't want to be a ground pounder. And so I said, I jokingly said to the officers, I says, does Boy Scouts count? And they said no. And I says, well, then I guess I'll join the Air Force. That was what made my decision. I didn't want to be drafted. I didn't want to be an Army man.
Okay. Well, here's another good one that I don't think we've addressed yet. But what's your view of politics from then into now?
How long do we have? How much tape you got left?
Not nearly enough.
Politics. I'm not very adamant with politics, I guess I would say. I do not believe that either Republicans or Democrats, if that's what we're talking about with politics, are right all the time. I absolutely refuse to be involved with any organization that says we're always right, and if you don't believe what we say, then you're wrong.
Right.
I think there's things to be found on both sides of the aisle, if we're calling it that, that would make our world a better place to live. And that's what I work for. I want to see a better place to live for all of the people that are alive today and tomorrow. Right. Does that sum it up?
pretty good for short. Yes, because yes, you can go into so much. I mean, the thing that I would ask in addition to that, and this would have been the age that you would have known a little, you would have been a young or an older teen or a young adult, but with the McCarthy stuff, I mean, did you see any of that? Or is that just like later in life or did you
See
even?
that? I wasn't in the military by the time that was going on.
That was in the early 50s.
The one event that happened when I was in the military that scared the bejeebies out of me was when they had the Cuban crisis.
Right.
And I thought we were going to end up at war with Cuba and
Russia. Yeah.
And that really did not impress me at all, being in the military, especially. But no, I never got too involved in the politics of it. I still say the politics is way too far, pushed too far for what it should be.
Right. Okay. Let's see. Okay, here's a good one. If you even remember, I'll bet you do. How much did it cost for your first house and for your first car?
$12,000.
The first house?
Yes. My first car? My first car? Wow, you're going back, dude. Is that it? We're out of tape? That's it?
No,
We're all done.
we're good.
Oh,
But if you want me to end, though, I'll end it.
no, I don't care.
Okay.
That's gonna be a long YouTube.
It's gonna be very long, yes.
We might have to split up.
Yeah, I'll divide it up.
But, okay, so first house cost 12,000. That was in, where'd you buy your first house?
Bridgeport.
In Bridgeport?
Yes.
Was that the yellow house
Yes.
with the aluminum siding?
Yes. Well, I put aluminum siding on it because it would raise the value of the house. That was a lie. But
The house is still there.
the house is still.
I've looked it up on Google Maps.
I took pictures of the trees in front of the house the last time I was out there.
Yeah.
And there was no trees. Now the tree in the front yard is probably that big around. Big tree.
Yeah.
Anyhow, is it her turn?
Her turn for what?
Are you stopped? Are you done?
No.
Oh.
I'm gonna just start now.
Okay.